official. Doug Ford's Conservatives will remain in power for 4 more years. After winning another majority last night, you had 2 party leaders resign. Lowest turnout in Ontario history. Aside from that, nothing happened last night worth talking about. Let's get to the panel because they have been amazing to us. Let's do it one more time. Yaroslav Baran, Conservative strategist, NDP strategist Cameron Holmstrom joining us, and Susan Smith, Liberal strategist. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Yaroslav, we're going to begin with you. The Conservatives, they wake up this morning. Doug Ford wakes up this morning. And where do they go from here? How are they feeling?
Well, the Conservatives are feeling great, obviously. Their polling was strong throughout, but it's always a nail biter. You're always hoping that there's no sudden sea change. There's no sudden, the wind doesn't change in the last kind of weekend of the campaign and so on. So a lot of relief for a lot of hardworking volunteers on a morning like this. And look, they ran a steady as it goes campaign. They ran a careful campaign, and they kind of cruised slowly but steadily from beginning to the end with a resounding victory. I'd like to tip my hat also to the Conservative and New Democrat leaders. They ran a good race. A lot of volunteers put their heart and soul into this thing. To everybody who participated and contributed to the democratic process, they always have my gratitude. That's what makes this province, this country great.
I mean, Liberals didn't have a good results, but they did put in some work there as well, no question about it. Cameron, I want to talk about Andrea Horwath here. 4th time trying to be the Premier of Ontario. 4th time was not the charm. Still official opposition, but she's stepping away as leader. What kind of a leader does the party need now going forward, and why didn't Andrea's message necessarily resonate?
Well, I honestly think the message resonated with some, obviously. There was a good base to it. But you know what? I don't think anyone's message has necessarily resonated. When you hit a record low in voter turnout, that means, in this case, being 44%, that means 56% of Ontarians said, yeah, I don't like what any of you are selling right now. So I think all the parties have some introspection they need to do there. When it comes to Andrea, though, and the next leader coming forward, I think it's an interesting stage for the party, because when Andrea took over the party in 2009, the party had 11 seats and was barely relevant and fighting to basically remain alive. And she leaves now with 31 seats, running fully funded campaigns, second straight campaign now where the NDP are the official opposition. That's the first time in the 80-year history of the NDP CCF that we've seen them finish first or second 2 campaigns in a row. So it's a sea change. So the next leader needs to be someone who's to be able to take that next step. And I think the nice thing is that one of the things Andrea has done is she's built a strong caucus. And we did lose some good people last night. We gained some good people as well, but there's just a lot of strong people left in that caucus, but I think who are ready to kind of take that next step going forward.
All right, let's talk about the Liberals and some big losses here. Stephen Del Duca not winning a seat, no official party status. Susan, for you, what went wrong?
Well, I don't know if it was a case of what went wrong. There just wasn't enough that went right. I think he had a huge hill to climb, A, from a name and face recognition perspective. B, the party was starting at 8 seats. They held at 8 seats, and he didn't even have his own seat. So any incremental gain was going to be a gain, but he didn't even get that incremental gain. I think Cam's analysis of Andrea Horwath's path over the last 4 elections will be an interesting one for the Liberals in terms of having to rebuild the party. But what really happened to Del Duca was Doug Ford. No one was mad at Doug Ford, or not enough people were mad at Doug Ford to get rid of Doug Ford. 40 whatever percent of election turnout, that's not enough. That doesn't show that there was enough momentum within the province, I don't think, to really push out for a big change. People were kind of fine with what Doug Ford was doing. They didn't really know Stephen Del Duca. He still carried, I think, some of the Wynne and McGuinty government hangovers. He was a new face, but not really a fresh face. So the Liberals will have to find a new and fresh face. They'll have to raise some more money. They'll have to get energized. They've got 4 years to do it. And in 4 years, we'll see how the electorate feels about Doug Ford. But for the moment, the electorate has spoken. They've said, give us this, we'll take the same guy again. We're like, well, yeah, I guess it's fine. and we'll see what happens with the province there. So the Liberals will have to rebuild, find some money, find some energy, find some candidates, and put themselves back on the map in a greater presence.
Susan, I'm with you, though. I mean, there was belief that having someone who was a minister for Kathleen Wynne would not hurt him. The numbers would suggest otherwise, and I think we saw that last night. All right. One quick thought on my end, and then I'm going to go across the board. One final question. I don't know how well Doug Ford knows French, but I believe there are some.
Je dirais.
We bibliotech.
Wait.
But I'm wondering if you're federally in this country and you're conservative, you're looking at this very closely. What just played out here, like, and right now that federal race on the conservative side is a bit of a gong show. I think Doug Ford is kind of he's redoing how you do politics in the GTA. I'm sorry. This is a very impressive win for me on that front, but that's a topic for another day. The federal conservatives are going to get their leader around September. Finally, around the horn, because everyone's been great. In a word, Yaroslav, describe this campaign.
Oh, gee, in a word, come on, that's not fair. Like, campaigns are either validation.
2 words. I'll give you 2 words, Yaroslav. 2.
Nobody even came close to making a case for change.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cameron, 2 words.
Very sleepy.
2 good words. Susan, final word. Words, plural.
I'm going to borrow a word that my 22-year-old son uses when stuff is kind of whatever. Mid.
What was
That's
that?
what the kids.
Mid.
Mid.
Oh,
is
it's on
what
the
kids
TikTok all the
say
time.
now.
I
Mid.
don't know.
It's
Oh, yeah,
like
you don't know?
not
Mid.
great, not bad, whatever. Mid.
It's just there.
It's mid, yeah.
You guys are right here. Thank you so much for always joining us. You're amazing. Susan, Yaroslav, and Cameron, as always, we appreciate your time and analysis. Thank you.
Thanks.